Now, if you're an entrepreneur, it doesn't really matter what type of business model or vehicle, so to say, that you're trying to pursue entrepreneurship in. You will find yourself in one of these five stages at all times in your journey, right? With every single business model that you start, with every single venture that you try to find success in, you will be in one of these. And it might look super confusing. And honestly, it is right before you actually understand this. If you watch this video in full, you will understand. And I'll also go through why step three or stage three actually kills most business owners and most businesses. This is where 99% of people fail. And I explain exactly why that happens. All right. So let's get right into it, right? I'm not going to waste any time in this video. Want to get straight into it, right? So the first step is right? So obviously I haven't put the whole writing here, but what it stands for is uninformed optimism. When you are starting a new business or when you're starting this journey in entrepreneurship, this is the stage where most people are seeing all these reels, they're seeing YouTube videos, they're seeing Andrew Tate, Alex Hormozy, they're seeing all these guys and they're seeing this business and they want to get started, they want to get out of the rat race, the so to say 9 to 5. Now, keep in mind, there's nothing wrong with it, but if you want to start entrepreneurship, or you are an entrepreneur, this is kind of what you're going to face. So just be aware of it, right? Uninformed optimism is where everything is just so good. Like you're not on the other side of the fence. You're just looking at it from the outside world, and it's like, oh, I'm only going to work 4 hours a week, and I'm going to make this much money, and this is how it works. So this is sales, or this is an agency, or looks so complicated. Like you're uninformed, right? And you have this optimism mindset because you're like, oh, this just seems too good to be true because that's how everybody portrays it, right? Nobody really talks about the actual journey and what actually needs to be done and the sacrifices you need to take to be able to achieve success, right? That is why you're at kind of the pinnacle. You're at the top of this graph, right? You're right here. Now, as soon as you start something, you're going to notice one thing. You're kind of going up, 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 and then you come down to this stage here, which is the second stage, which is IP, informed pessimism. Now, what that means is that you're at this stage now where you have a little bit more information about what you're doing, and you're actually realizing that, you know what, this is harder than I thought. This is not as easy, right? So if I explain it in a nutshell, this is kind of like before you buy a course, before you buy someone's course on how to get rich, and then this is right after you get into the course and you actually have to do the work. Because then you understand, okay, this shit is actually hard, right? Now it actually gets a little bit worse, right? And if you find yourself in this situation, then understand that you're going to face a few things going ahead further down the road. Right after that, you kind of fall down to this VOD space, which is called the Valley of Despair. Now, as mentioned, this stage number three, is where 99% of business owners fail. This is where most people just give up. And the reason is because you went from being uninformed, optimized, you went from having uninformed optimism where you were super happy, you didn't know how things work, to initially going to this place where you were like, okay, I understand how this works. This takes a lot more work than I actually anticipated, and I got to work a lot harder. Valley of despair, nothing's working, so much doubt in your head. I should have went to school. I should have listened to my parents. I should have listened to my teacher. I should give up on this. I should just get a normal 9 to 5. I should just get a job. I shouldn't do this. Nothing's working out. I'm spending all these hours every single day. I'm doing my cold calls. I'm doing my SMSs. I'm doing ads. I'm getting leads, but they're not picking up. People are not showing up. Just problems on problems on problems on problems on problems, and be like, understand this, like being an entrepreneur, you're a professional problem solver, right? You're not just this like it's just like a job. Like you actually have to be aware that there's going to be problems every single day. There's going to be new things that you need to tackle head on every single day. There might be things that come up at the night while you're sleeping. You might get a call, you might have to do this. Like it's like there's no like balance, right? There's literally no balance until you get to a certain point in your entrepreneurship journey, which usually takes a few years, but expect it to be like this. And this is why 99% of people fail, because they're not ready to do that. Like the success that you're going to be able to achieve is directly correlated to the amount of stress that you're able to tolerate. And if you're not able to tolerate stress, if your stress tolerance is low, just be aware that it's going to be super, super hard, right? Why is it very comfortable for people to just stay in a 9 to 5 job? Is because you're doing the same exact thing every single day. You're guaranteed a certain type of salary. Like you just know what you got to do. No matter how the company performs, you're going to get paid what you're going to get paid regardless. There's this certainty there. All you got to do is just show up for those 8 hours a day, do the work that you got to do, and make somebody else rich. Now, for some people, that's ideal and that's lovely, perfect, good for you. I'm no one to judge. I'm not better than those people, right? It's just that that's not the route that I want to take. And I'm assuming if you're watching this, You don't want to take that route either. So just be prepared to end up in the valley of despair if you're not there already. And if you are there already, like I was and I've been multiple times, then keep in mind this is not something that just happened once. As mentioned, it happens every single time you start a new business or you go into a new venture. Like it just keeps happening, right? So keep in mind that will keep happening. You will end up in this valley of despair. And also, right after that, there's this stage which kind of looks like a 10 number, but it's informed optimism, right? It's an informed optimism. And this is where you kind of go from the valley of despair, from all this doubt, and you slowly start doing all this work. Now, keep in mind, this can take multiple months. This can take years, right? This part right here, you just have to be prepared to stick through it, right? And as long as you don't give up, you'll end up at the informed optimism stage where you're like, okay, I understand that this is hard. I understand that this takes a lot more work, and I understand that things are not working. But at the end of the day, if I keep doing what I'm supposed to do, and every single night when I lay my head on my pillow before I sleep, I know that I personally did my best. If you do that day by day and you just work your best and you work your hardest, there is no chance that you don't get to the uninformed optimism stage where you understand that if I keep doing this, I will achieve it. I will get to the achievement and the goal. This goal could be, I mean, it could be whatever you want, right? For most people, when they're starting their first business, it's usually getting to 10K per month, right? So let's say that is your goal. If you understand that, okay, this let's go from the start. This looks good. Like an agency, starting a business looks super easy. All I gotta do is do outreach. Boom. You start doing outreach, start doing cold calls, people start telling you to F off, and people start telling you to not they're not interested, all this good stuff. You end up in the valley of despair. You keep doing cold calls 6, 7 hours a day. Nobody's like people are picking up, you're getting on sales calls, people aren't showing up, you're getting service delivery, people aren't converting, you get churn rate. There's just so much issues happening, but then you understand that as long as you don't give up, you're going to get to that stage. You keep going every single day, you keep pushing through, you end up at informed optimism, and then you start scaling from there. And boom, you're at 10K per month, and you scale up from there, and it keeps going. Now, I'll leave this video off with just telling you guys that be prepared to end up in any of these 5 stages. This is like the 5 stages of entrepreneurship. Either you're in one of them, if you're about to start, you're gonna face them. So just be prepared. I'm so happy that I kind of understood this a little bit more when I did start out. So it was a little bit easier for me because whenever I kind of went through hardship, I just understood that, all right, this is exactly what is going to happen. And like everybody's been through this that has ever achieved something great in life. They've been through the same exact process. So I'm going to have to go through it. It's like nobody has it easier than others, unless you're born as an oil sheikh, with which probably none of you guys are, unfortunately. But other than that, you got to do your own work and you got to get there yourself. Now, all I'm going to leave this video with is don't give up. It is 100% possible. Every single thing that you put your mind to is possible. Just make sure that whatever stage you are in, just make sure that whenever you go to bed, whenever you put your head on your pillow, just understand and try to do your best every single day, because there's only going to happen two things from there. 99.9% of the time, you're going to achieve your goal whenever you put your head on your bed, on your pillow. And I keep saying this all the time, but if you understand this, this is going to make sense. Whenever you put your head on your pillow to sleep, if you every single day, and I promise you guys, if you every single day be truly, truly honest with yourself, either did I do my best today? Yes or no. If it's always a yes and you're honest with yourself, like at the end of the day, you're not lying to anybody else beside yourself, and you don't want to do that. Trust me. If you're honest every single day and you know that you did your best every single day and every single night before you go to sleep, it's only a matter of time before you, one, achieve your goal, or two, you keep going, keep going, keep going, keep failing, keep going, keep going. And even if let's say it takes a few years and you don't get to your goal, but you did your best every single day. And I'm actually so dead serious. Like you actually did your best, not just saying that you did your best. Um, like honestly, if you actually did your best, you will succeed. But like, let's say in the very rare scenario of it's just didn't happen for you, well, at least you did your best. Like you're not going to be on your deathbed when you're 50 and be like, oh, I wish I tried doing that when I was 20, or I wish I tried doing that when I was 25, because you did your best. And honestly, like when you do your best, everybody here knows that like success is inevitable. Like if you do those actions that you got to do every single day to make sure that it's inevitable that you get success, like at the end of the day, everything is volume. Like you should be able to get it, and it's possible. So keep at it, guys. Keep working hard. If you find yourself in one of these stages, make sure that you understand them and you write this down somewhere. Like even if you have a whiteboard, just put this down somewhere, understand it, engrave it in your mind, and it's just a matter of time before you reach your goals, my man. All right. I'm always rooting for you guys. If you guys have any video ideas or anything specifically that you guys want me to talk about in the next few videos, do let me know. And we'll be in touch soon, guys. Wish you guys the best. And then you owe it to yourself to be great, guys.